Hi everyone. Today we're going to model a sci-fi light and then give it a controllable mechanical movement. First, using box cutter, we create a cut on the surface, and by pressing X and choosing slice, we separate this part. I draw a line at the center of the cutter so I can align it correctly to the middle of the cylinder. Next, using a radial array and setting it to 3, we create 3 cuts evenly distributed around the center. After applying the cuts, we keep only one of them, the one that has the best viewing angle and allows proper rotation in the desired direction. We use another cutter on it and then add an additional detail using a cylindrical box cutter shape. Now we want to create another slice on the body, and by adding a slider, we'll be able to open and close the light arms. At first, I create an empty so we can understand how it works, and then we'll apply the same process to the actual slider. I intentionally move forward using the simplest methods and deliberately make some mistakes, so that by the end of the video we can clearly understand what the correct approach is. To prevent the empty from moving beyond a certain virtual limit, we add a constraint from the Object Constraint menu and limit its movement on the Z-axis. Also, from Object Properties, we lock all transform channels except the Z location, so it can't move accidentally in any other direction. Now it's time to work on the arm. We select the arm, find the axis we want it to rotate on, right-click on it, and add a driver. In the driver settings, we set the object to the empty, set the space to local, and choose Z location as the driving value. This way, when the empty moves up and down, the arm will rotate around its axis. As you can see, the arm rotates in the opposite direction, so we first add a minus sign before the value to fix the direction. Now we just need to find the correct numeric value. Once the movement is correct, to place the arms in other directions, we go into Edit mode, select a point at the rotation pivot, then return to Object mode, set the cursor to the center of the cylinder, duplicate the arm, and rotate it. If we go back into Edit mode, we can again use the same pivot point, place the cursor there, and align the arm correctly. Now, when we move the empty, both arms move correctly together. We can create the third arm in the same way. Now it's time to improve the mesh a bit by applying booleans and cleaning up the topology to get a better mesh. Next, we add an inner surface to the mesh so it can slide inward and outward. Now let's examine the issues in our setup. If you move the entire mesh, the empty stays in place because of its constraints, which is not correct. To fix this, we create another empty at the origin point, scale it, and name it root. I delete the arms again so I can rebuild them cleanly for all three arms and only set up the new system once. We move the entire mesh down and parent it to the root empty. We completely delete the previous empty because we now want to use only the slider mesh itself. We also add movement limits to the slider mesh and set the driver settings on it. Second issue. When moving the upper part, the handle stays fixed. So we need to create another empty for the upper section and parent it to the new empty. Now the problem is solved. Finally, we parent the upper empty to the lower one so everything moves together correctly. Using the same method as before, set up the arms again, and now you can easily create animations for it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. See you in the next one.